Welcome, gents. The truth is like a lion, you don't have to defend it. Let it loose and it will defend itself. In a world where weak narratives spread like wildfire, repeated, reinforced, and blindly followed, Sigma males take a different approach. They don't argue for the sake of arguing. They don't waste energy proving people wrong. They don't seek applause for thinking differently. Instead, they let reality do the talking. Weak narratives thrive on ignorance, repetition, and emotional appeal. They survive because people fear questioning them. But Sigma males don't fear standing alone. They refuse to bow to collective delusions, and they never water down the truth to make it more palatable. When others blindly follow the crowd, a Sigma male dissects the narrative, exposing its contradictions and weaknesses with surgical precision. He doesn't have to shout to be heard. His actions, his results, and his way of life stand as undeniable proof that reality will always outlast illusion. The world respects those who prove themselves through action, not just words. And that's why Sigma males don't engage in endless debates or try to wake up those who refuse to see. They lead by example. They show what's possible. They let weak narratives collapse under their own weight while they continue moving forward, unbothered and unshaken. If you've ever felt like you see through the nonsense while everyone else buys into it, you're not alone. The truth has never needed a majority. It just needs someone strong enough to stand by it. Number one, they never bow to consensus. Most people go along with the crowd not because they believe in what they're following, but because they fear what happens if they don't. They fear rejection. They fear standing alone. They fear being the only voice in a room full of blind agreement. Weak narratives thrive on this fear, using it to keep people in line, making them accept ideas they've never truly questioned. But Sigma males, they don't fall for that. Sigma males have no need for validation. Their confidence doesn't come from external approval, but from their own clarity of thought. They don't believe something just because it's popular. If an idea doesn't hold up under scrutiny, they reject it, no matter how many people believe it. That kind of independence makes them dangerous to the status quo. When a Sigma male challenges popular opinion, he doesn't do it to be rebellious or different for the sake of it. He does it because he values truth over comfort. He doesn't care if standing alone makes him look like the outsider. He doesn't care if his perspective makes people uncomfortable. What he cares about is seeing things clearly, without the distortion of groupthink. And here's what happens when a Sigma male refuses to bow to consensus. It makes people think. At first they resist, they mock, they get defensive, but deep down something shifts. Because when someone stands firm against a weak narrative without needing approval, it forces others to question why they blindly accepted it in the first place. That's the real power of a Sigma male. He doesn't need to argue or convince. His presence alone, his refusal to conform, is enough to make people second-guess the illusions they've been living under. Most people bow to consensus out of fear. Sigma males reject it out of principle, and that's exactly why they stand apart. Number two, they refuse to debate with delusional people. Sigma males understand that not every conversation is worth having. When someone is so entrenched in their own fantasy that they can't see beyond it, debating with them is like shouting into a void. They know that facts and reason can only do so much when the other party isn't ready to listen. Instead of wasting time on arguments that lead nowhere, Sigma males choose to let reality do the talking. Think about it. Have you ever tried to change someone's mind only to find that no amount of logic or evidence makes a dent in their beliefs? It's frustrating and unproductive. For Sigma males, this isn't a waste of energy. It's a signal to step back. They believe that truth doesn't need constant defense. It stands strong on its own. By refusing to debate with those who are unwilling to engage with reality, they avoid getting trapped in endless cycles of fruitless discussions. This approach isn't about arrogance or dismissiveness. It's about efficiency and clarity. Sigma males recognize that the energy spent trying to persuade someone who's deluded is better used elsewhere. They invest their time in pursuits that yield real results, in relationships where honest communication matters, and in environments where constructive criticism is valued. In doing so, they not only protect their own mental space, but also set an example for others. Their quiet confidence and refusal to engage in pointless debates often lead onlookers to question their own beliefs. When a Sigma male walks away from a conversation that has turned into a battleground of delusion, it sends a powerful message. Reality is not up for negotiation. In essence, by choosing not to debate with those who cling to unfounded ideas, Sigma males allow reality to humble delusions on its own. Their stance is a reminder that truth doesn't need defenders, it simply exists. And in a world full of noise and endless arguments, that silent strength is both refreshing and inspiring. Number 3, they lead by example, not argument. Sigma males have a clear understanding that actions speak louder than words. Instead of getting wrapped up in endless debates over ideas that lack substance, they choose to live by example. Every decision they make, every risk they take, and every success they earn serves as a reminder that reality is built on what we do, not just what we say. Imagine someone who consistently puts in the work and quietly builds a life that reflects their values. They don't feel the need to announce their achievements or justify every decision through heated arguments. Their daily actions, whether it's in their career, personal relationships, or creative pursuits, demonstrate a deep commitment to their own truth. This approach not only makes their successes all the more impressive, but it also forces others to take notice and rethink their own lives. While many people waste energy trying to convince others with empty rhetoric, Sigma males focus on tangible results. Their independence isn't about being contrarian for the sake of it. It's a genuine expression of their inner conviction. They understand that the noise of a debate fades quickly, but the impact of consistent, meaningful action endures. Their ability to forge ahead, undeterred by popular opinion or fleeting trends, stands as living proof that reality always wins over weak narratives. What makes this approach so captivating is its simplicity. There's no need for elaborate speeches or dramatic gestures when your life itself is a powerful statement. Instead of getting entangled in arguments that go nowhere, Sigma males let their day-to-day actions speak volumes. Their dedication to living authentically creates a ripple effect, encouraging those around them to question established norms and to focus on building their own realities rather than subscribing to hollow ideas. In a world that often values talk over action, Sigma males remind us that true strength lies in the courage to live your truth. Their example is a testament to the idea that real change comes from what you do, not just what you claim, and that ultimately is the most persuasive narrative of all. Number 4, they use precision, not volume. Sigma males understand that winning a conversation isn't about how loud you can shout, but how precisely you can hit the mark. In a world where weak narratives often rely on endless repetition and booming voices to create the illusion of truth, Sigma males take a different approach. They know that volume can drown out nuance, and that a single, well-placed fact or question can be far more powerful than a barrage of words. Instead of joining the chorus of empty chatter, Sigma males carefully craft their words. They take a moment to analyze the narrative, sift through the noise, and find that one critical point that exposes its flaws. It might be as simple as asking a question that makes you pause and think, why is this idea being repeated without evidence? Why do we accept something as true just because it's said over and over again? This type of questioning cuts right to the heart of the matter, forcing everyone involved to rethink what they believed was undeniable. This isn't about being contrarian for the sake of it. It's about clarity, accuracy, and efficiency. Sigma males believe that truth doesn't need to be shouted down. It can be demonstrated with precision. When they speak, every word carries weight because it's backed by thoughtful consideration and factual evidence. Their approach isn't designed to win applause or command attention through sheer noise. Instead, it's meant to provoke deeper thought and encourage others to look beyond the superficial repetition of popular opinion. By choosing precision over volume, Sigma males not only elevate the conversation, they also protect themselves from the pitfalls of misguided groupthink. They understand that loud voices can often mask ignorance, while measured words can reveal insights that challenge established beliefs. In doing so, they inspire those around them to value substance over style, inviting everyone to engage with ideas on their merits rather than simply following the crowd. Ultimately, the Sigma approach reminds us that being right doesn't require being loud. A well-placed question or a precise fact can dismantle an entire belief system, proving that truth, when carefully presented, stands on its own. Number 5, they turn weak narratives against themselves. Sigma males have an incredible knack for turning weak narratives against themselves. Instead of getting lost in long-winded debates, They quickly identify the flimsy parts of an argument and ask one precise question that forces the narrative to unravel. It's like watching a house of cards collapse when a single card is removed. They don't need to shout or get angry. Their calm, pointed inquiries do all the heavy lifting. When someone puts forward a weak argument, the Sigma male listens carefully and picks out its contradictions. Then he asks a question such as, "How does that really work?" Or "What proof supports that claim?" These simple questions cut straight to the heart of the matter. The person on the other side is suddenly forced to defend every little detail, and often their responses expose flaws they hadn't even noticed. In effect, the argument starts to dismantle itself, revealing the underlying hypocrisy or lack of evidence. This approach isn't about trying to embarrass someone, it's about letting the truth shine through. When a Sigma male turns an argument back on itself, he isn't playing the role of an adversary. Instead, he's acting as a mirror, reflecting the inconsistencies of a narrative back to its creator. The result is often a moment of realization for everyone involved. The idea they were so sure of simply can't stand up to scrutiny. In everyday life, this method reminds us that we don't always need to raise our voices to be heard. Sometimes a well-placed question can open up a conversation in a way that shouting never could. Sigma males show us that if an idea isn't strong enough on its own, it will crumble when faced with clear, honest inquiry. Their approach is a powerful reminder that truth is best served when it's allowed to speak for itself without the need for unnecessary drama or volume. By letting weak narratives self-destruct, Sigma males inspire us to seek out genuine clarity in every discussion. Number 6, they expose the hidden self-interest. They say that every story has a hidden angle, and often that angle is built on someone's self-interest. In everyday conversations, weak narratives might seem like harmless opinions, but they're usually crafted to serve a hidden agenda, be it control, validation, or the pursuit of power. Sigma males have a unique talent for peeling back the layers of these narratives. They don't just accept what's on the surface. Instead, they dig deeper to uncover who really benefits from the story being told. Imagine a situation where someone is pushing an idea that seems noble on the surface. Most people might nod along, trusting the face value of the argument. But a Sigma male steps back and asks, who gains if this is true? That single question can shift the conversation dramatically. By exposing the underlying self-interest, he shows that the narrative isn't a pure statement of fact or principle. It's a tool designed to influence opinion for personal gain. This approach is not about being cynical, it's about being honest. When you peel away the glossy packaging of an argument, you often find that its core is built on shaky motives. Once that hidden agenda is exposed, the entire narrative loses its credibility. People start to see that what seemed like an earnest claim might have been a convenient cover for someone's own ambitions. Sigma males are calm and methodical when they do this. They don't need to shout or resort to drama. Their steady, thoughtful questions make others pause and reflect on why certain ideas are being pushed so hard. It's a process of revealing the truth, where the spotlight is shifted from the story itself to the storyteller. And when the hidden self-interest is out in the open, the narrative crumbles on its own. In everyday life, this skill encourages everyone to look beyond the surface and demand honesty in our conversations. It's a reminder that truth is not served by hidden agendas, but by transparency and genuine intent. By exposing self-interest, Sigma males not only dismantle weak narratives, but also inspire a culture of deeper, more thoughtful dialogue. Number 7, they disrupt echo chambers. Echo chambers are like comfortable rooms where the same ideas bounce around endlessly, rarely challenged or questioned. In these spaces, weak narratives can flourish simply because everyone is nodding along, assuming that repeated ideas must be true. But then comes a Sigma male, whose very presence shatters this comfortable conformity. A Sigma male doesn't blend into the crowd. He listens and observes, but he also dares to ask the questions no one else is willing to. When he steps into an echo chamber, his refusal to simply echo everyone else's opinions introduces a spark of doubt. Even a single thoughtful question from him can make people pause and wonder if they've been accepting ideas without a second thought. His approach is quiet yet powerful. He doesn't need to raise his voice because his challenge is inherent in his way of thinking. This disruption is not meant to cause chaos for its own sake. Instead, it serves as a wake-up call. In a group where everyone agrees without scrutiny, a Sigma male's independent thought forces people to reflect on why they believe what they do. His non-conformity unsettles those who rely on groupthink because it exposes the fragile foundation of ideas that have never been properly examined. Suddenly, the familiar comfort of repetition is replaced by a sense of curiosity and a need to dig deeper. By simply refusing to conform, the Sigma male turns the echo chamber into a place of questioning rather than blind acceptance. His presence creates space for honest discussion, encouraging others to consider alternative perspectives and challenge their assumptions. In doing so, he helps dismantle weak narratives, paving the way for more robust, well-founded ideas to emerge. In a world where easy consensus can stifle true understanding, the Sigma male stands as a reminder that questioning and critical thinking are essential. His approach not only disrupts echo chambers, but also inspires those around him to seek truth beyond the comfortable confines of repeated opinions. Number 8, they are brutally honest. Even when it's uncomfortable, Sigma males have a knack for cutting through the fluff and getting straight to the heart of the matter. While most people tiptoe around hard truths, worried about hurting feelings or facing backlash, Sigma males choose honesty even when it stings. They believe that sugar-coated words only delay the inevitable and that facing reality, however harsh, is the only way to grow and improve. Imagine a situation where everyone around you is agreeing just to keep the peace. In that environment, the truth gets lost under layers of polite lies and empty compliments. But then a Sigma male steps in and says exactly what needs to be said, no matter how uncomfortable it might be. He doesn't mince words or hide behind euphemisms. Instead, he presents the truth as it is, trusting that people will either accept it or be forced to confront the consequences of ignoring it. His approach might ruffle some feathers, but it also sparks genuine conversations about what really matters. This brutal honesty isn't meant to be hurtful or dismissive. It's about respecting people enough to give them a clear picture of reality. Sigma males understand that living in a fantasy might feel safer in the short term, but it ultimately hinders growth. When they point out uncomfortable truths, it's a call to action, an invitation to address problems head-on, rather than letting them fester under a veneer of politeness. Moreover, by being unflinchingly honest, Sigma males inspire others to do the same. Their willingness to speak up when others remain silent encourages a culture where truth is valued over comfort. It forces people to rethink their assumptions and challenges the status quo, showing that real progress comes from facing difficulties rather than avoiding them. In a world where many prefer to dance around hard realities, the Sigma male's approach is both refreshing and disruptive. His blunt honesty acts as a mirror, reflecting back the truths that most people are too afraid to acknowledge. Even if it offends, his commitment to the truth ultimately paves the way for more meaningful change, and that is something we can all learn from. Number 9, they let reality deliver the final blow. Sigma males understand that you don't have to fight every battle to prove you're right. They know that in the end, reality has a way of exposing the truth. Instead of getting caught up in endless debates or heated arguments, they simply state the facts and let time do the rest. There's a quiet strength in this approach, a confidence that the truth, when left alone, will outshine any falsehood. Imagine you're in a debate where one side is throwing around opinions and half-truths. The Sigma male steps in with one clear, honest statement. He doesn't try to overpower others with loud words or flashy rhetoric. Instead, he calmly delivers the truth and then walks away. This isn't about being passive or avoiding conflict. It's about understanding that no matter how long you argue, the facts remain unchanged. When the dust settles, it's not the loudest voice that wins, but the undeniable weight of reality. This method has a powerful ripple effect. People who are used to winning arguments by sheer volume of words might initially feel challenged or even threatened by such calm confidence. But eventually, as time passes and the evidence stacks up, those same words of truth begin to resonate. The weak narratives that once dominated the conversation start to crumble as the undeniable facts come to light. Sigma males have learned that winning isn't about dominating every conversation. It's about planting a seed of truth that grows stronger with time. They trust that the reality of a situation will eventually speak for itself, regardless of how fiercely anyone may try to argue otherwise. This approach not only saves energy but also creates a lasting impact. The truth becomes its own champion, gradually dismantling the lies and misconceptions that others cling to. By stepping back and letting reality deliver the final blow, Sigma males remind us that integrity and honesty are far more effective than any argument. In a world full of noise, their quiet assurance and steadfast commitment to the truth speak volumes. Number 10, they weaponize proof over opinion. In a world drowning in opinions, speculation, and empty rhetoric, Sigma males take a different approach. They let proof do the talking. While others waste energy debating theories, arguing in circles, and clinging to weak narratives, Sigma males understand that nothing shuts down noise faster than undeniable results. They don't try to convince people with words alone. They demonstrate their truth through action. Think about it. How often do people engage in endless debates about success, independence, and the right way to live? Some claim financial security is impossible without connections. Others insist you have to conform to be accepted. But a Sigma male walks into the room financially independent, mentally disciplined, and living life entirely on his own terms. He doesn't need to argue. His existence alone dismantles the weak narratives others desperately cling to. Sigma males understand that most people are addicted to speculation. They love to debate hypotheticals and defend beliefs with zero evidence, but speculation crumbles in the face of proof. That's why Sigma males don't waste their breath convincing people that something is possible. They just do it. When others say self-reliance is unrealistic, a Sigma male builds his own path. When they claim discipline is too hard, he embodies it effortlessly. When they insist success requires social validation, he thrives in solitude. This approach makes weak narratives self-destruct. It forces people to confront an uncomfortable reality. Maybe everything they believed was just an excuse to stay comfortable. And when the proof is undeniable, the debate is over. There's nothing left to argue when the evidence speaks for itself. By weaponizing proof over opinion, Sigma males remind the world that reality always outweighs speculation. They don't chase validation or try to win approval. Instead, they live in such a way that no argument is necessary. Their results are the final word, and that silence, the undeniable presence of truth, speaks louder than any debate ever could. Number 11, they stay silent while the lies devour themselves. Sigma males have mastered the art of strategic silence. While most people feel the need to argue, defend, or correct every falsehood they encounter, a Sigma male understands a deeper truth. Weak narratives always destroy themselves. Lies are inherently fragile. They require constant reinforcement, blind loyalty, and groupthink to survive. And the more people cling to them, the more obvious their flaws become over time. A Sigma doesn't need to fight a falsehood directly. He simply waits for it to unravel on its own. This approach baffles those who thrive on debate. They expect resistance, counter-arguments, or even outrage, but the Sigma male gives them nothing. He doesn't waste energy engaging in pointless back and forths because he knows reality doesn't need his defense. The truth is patient. And as the weak narrative spreads, contradictions start piling up, cracks begin to form, and those who once defended it with blind certainty start to doubt. When the collapse finally comes, it's never gentle, it's messy. The same people who once championed the weak narrative scramble to rewrite history, distance themselves, or shift blame. The world is full of examples, failed ideologies, broken promises, flawed systems that once seemed untouchable, but eventually crumbled under the weight of their own contradictions. And when that moment arrives, the Sigma male isn't among the panicked crowd searching for answers. He's already prepared. He saw it coming. He never built his foundation on weak beliefs, so he has nothing to lose. This ability to stay silent while lies self-destruct is a rare kind of wisdom. It's the power of restraint, of trusting that reality will do the work for you. Sigma males don't seek validation through proving others wrong. They let time expose the truth. And when the dust settles, they stand firm, untouched by the chaos, watching as those who ignored reality scramble to make sense of their own downfall. In conclusion, reality is like a lion. You don't have to defend it, just set it free and it will defend itself. Sigma males don't waste time arguing with illusions. They don't seek applause for being right, nor do they chase validation from those who cling to weak narratives. Instead, they let truth do what it does best: stand on its own. They lead with action, dismantle falsehoods with proof, and watch as time exposes what was never real to begin with. The world is full of noise, opinions shouted with confidence, yet backed by nothing. Many people follow weak narratives because it's easier than thinking for themselves, but Sigma males aren't afraid to stand alone. They don't bow to consensus, they don't waste energy debating the delusional, and they don't argue just to be heard. They know that the strongest weapon against nonsense is reality itself. If you find yourself in a world where people push weak beliefs on you, remember this. You don't have to fight every battle. You don't need to convince those who refuse to see. Just sharpen your mind, master yourself, and let your results speak for you. The truth is unshakable, and when the dust settles, it's the ones who built on reality, not illusion, who remain standing. So be relentless in your pursuit of truth. Move with precision, lead by example, and most importantly, stay grounded in what is real. Weak narratives may rise, but they always fall under the weight of their own contradictions, and when they do, it will be you. The one who never wavered, who stands unshaken, watching as the world scrambles to make sense of what you saw coming all along. Thank you for watching, gents, and God bless you.